Hey friends, today we're gonna make a Christmas tree looking through a window. So we're outside of a home looking through the window to this cute little Christmas tree. Usually we're doing this in oil pastel and black paper. I don't have oil pastels to send home to all of you guys, so we have to do it in crayon this year on gray paper, but I think it's gonna be lovely. So let's begin. You should have the gray paper in your supplies that were sent home with your school books. If you can't find it, look harder. But also, it's you can probably do this on a white piece of paper. The gray paper makes the colors pop a little bit, which is why I sent home the gray paper. So we're gonna start with a ruler, and we're gonna make some lines on the edges. So I'm just gonna use the width of the ruler to make some lines. Okay, so I'm gonna draw lightly, so I can erase, right? Lightly. Okay, so I made lines on all four sides, and I don't need this part where they cross, so I'm going to erase this part because this is my window. All right. Okay, so there is my window. And I'm going to draw my Christmas tree inside of there. So I have 3 different color of green crayons, and really, you really kind of need to use crayons for this project. So, or oil pastels if you have them, but markers are not going to give you the same effect because we really need to overlap and add some different colors and shading. So crayons or even colored pencils would work okay, but markers are not going to cut it, okay? Okay, so we are going to start with a darker crayon. And again, we usually do this in oil pastels, so it'll be just a little bit different in crayon, but bear with me while we get it to work. So I'm gonna start drawing my tree, and I'm gonna start maybe about there. I'm gonna leave room for a star, and I'm gonna leave room at the bottom because in the final product, we're gonna have some window snow, and we're gonna have a star at the top, so I need to leave some space for that. So here's how I'm gonna make my tree, okay? We're going to, and I'm not pressing hard, so we're just gonna kind of go like back and forth, zigzaggies, fill it in, and I'm gonna do another layer down here, and that layer is gonna go out a little further, okay? And I'm gonna start in on the next row a little bit so that it looks like it's a branch, like a layer of branches. And I'm going at an angle, straight down at an angle, so that it really looks like a tree, okay? And I'm gonna do that. See, I'm not pressing hard. I'm just getting a light layer in because I want the crayons to overlap. When I put another color in here, I want it to be able to blend in a little bit, okay? If I press too hard, I won't be able to see the other colors. Okay, I think, you know, I made my dot here. I think I'm gonna go down one more layer though. Okay, that's it for my dark green. Now I'm gonna add in the next color, which would be a little lighter green, and I'm gonna go over it, and I can press a little harder for this since it's kind of going over the dark green. I'm gonna go all the way down. Now I'm gonna use the last color, the light green. I'm probably not gonna see it a lot, but it will show up a little bit in the nooks and crannies. So I might even press a little harder for this guy. Okay. I think I'm gonna take my dark green crayon and maybe lightly go over it another smidge, but just lightly, and maybe not even everywhere, maybe just along the edges, just to give my branches a little more definition from the other branches above. Then we can add some Christmas decorations onto our tree. So obviously we need to have purple because it is the best color ever. And you can use whatever colors you wanted. Again, let's see how they look, how they show up. different in oil pastel. Oil pastel really layers well. So I'm gonna use these colors and let's just see what happens. I'm gonna add dots all around and I'm gonna press hard while I do that. I couldn't get the yellow or the pink to show up on the tree, so I put them on the edges, which I think they still look very nice. Okay, I'm gonna take a white crayon and add some highlights. It might not show up a ton, but it will add a little bit of twinkle to my lights. I'm gonna do that all around to all the lights. Now I'm going to add my star on top. Now we can do stars a couple of ways. You can do a star like this and color it in. You can make a star, a little tricky. You can do one of these, however you want your star to look. The next part that we're gonna do is add our window around the tree. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna take my white crayon and I'm gonna go on top of our ruler line. Now we're gonna need to press hard a little bit. So we might go over it a couple of lines, a couple of times so that we can really see it well. And this is when we can add our snow at the bottom. So I'm just gonna make some bumps down here. And you know, when it snows in your windows, it kind of gathers on the edges a little bit. So you can make the edges a little bit taller when the wind blows all the snow. There's my snow. And then I'm also going to need to add the window lines. So for that, I'm going to make 2 more lines going up and down and 2 more lines going across. So vertical lines, horizontal lines. And I'm gonna do it lightly with my pencil. I'm gonna eyeball it. So I'm not gonna measure how far across and divide, but I'm just gonna put a line here on this side and approximately the same space over here. And same thing this way. I'm gonna go maybe right here and then move it down a little and put one here. It's kind of hard to see, but it will look great. Okay, I think I'm gonna add in a little bit of gray so I can see it just a smidge better. Still looks nice and snowy. Go over it a little bit more. Perfect. The next part is adding your house colors. What colors do you want for your house? Obviously, my house is going to be purple. Again, it is the best color ever. And maybe I will give it a purple and gray colors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some lines. I'm gonna start at the top and just lightly go across and maybe use the width of the ruler to make my house lines. So I'm just putting the ruler where my last line was, holding it down, making house lines on either of the sides. So these are like, you know, your house has the siding on it. Well, mine does. Maybe yours doesn't. Maybe yours is different. But this house is gonna have some siding. If you wanted to make bricks on your house, you could do that too. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want the sides of your house to look like. Now that I have my lines drawn, I can color in. So I'm just gonna color alternating colors between purple and gray so that it looks like my house has some siding on it that's different colors. My siding is all finished. Now we're gonna add the final step, which is to add some snow. So we're gonna press hard with our right crayon, and I'm gonna make some snow all over. And remember, we are looking outside into a house, so obviously it's going to snow outside too, not just inside the window. And it might be hard to see on your house, but that's okay. Also, you can add some snowy, blowy snow. And I'm just gonna do that by kind of going like this, up and down. I'm not pressing hard and drawing big lines. I'm just going lightly. And it's gonna snow over everything, not just the inside of the window, because that's weird if it just snows inside your house. I'm just saying. And I'm also gonna go this way. It kind of gives the idea that there's a snowstorm outside. And there you have your finished snowy tree looking through a window. It looks so pretty. I just love this project.